Coach, this is the city, Los Angeles, California. That's where we are for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Los Angeles Rams. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go now. 45. Not a rookie. Mike, 45. Come on,
45. On first down, Bryant. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, Eddie Jackson picks it. And he'll actually lose about 7 yards on the return, but they have possession of the football on the turnover.
At their own 43-yard line.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Going to give this time to the tailback. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Kill. General. Nice 7. Let's go.
Here's Martinez on 1st and 10. Rolling to his left. And he's going to keep it here. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you.
Here we go.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain, too.
On 2nd down, it's Vaughn, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And just like that, it's 3rd down. Play action. Martinez going for it all. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Here we go. Touchdown. Come on. And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's 2nd and 8. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They'll run on 1st down. Vaughn. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Going deep this time for Miller, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Martinez. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is fielded at the 7. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game.
And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next year?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
2nd and 13. He sets to fire deep. Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year as the Bears push further out in front. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
Throwing on 1st down. Bryant, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. Past the 20. 10. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
At their own 25-yard line.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Looking to throw. Bryant. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to hold that one in.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
A loss of 7.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on the punt. 17-0 our score after 1. Here's Britton Colquitt to punt this one away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is brought in at the 21. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. On the NFL scoreboard, an update from up in Seattle. And that one a 2-touchdown advantage now for the Seahawks. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. On 1st down, it's Vaughn. He can't get him down. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half as the Bears push further out in front. The extra point splits the uprights, and a rout is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Gurley. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
2nd and 3. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. This will be the first red zone opportunity now for the Rams. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
First down and goal to go.
They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Todd Gurley, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and that'll make it 24-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Back to throw. Martinez. Now they go screen. It's complete. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. A big play there for L.A. 48 yards. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
45, Mike, 45. Hey.
To throw again, Bryant. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. third down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
On third down, Bryant. This is caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Gurley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Another try on second down with Gurley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. This Bears defense trying to hold on. This is third and goal.
Come on. Check.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Zerline's kick is up and through, and that will close the gap down to 14. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Here's second and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. So here's a first and 10 at the 38. Martinez now operating from the gun. Going into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's second and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Hahn. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd. Martinez. Off the play fake. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10.
58's the money. 58's the money. All day, baby, all day.
Looking to throw. Bryant. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
58, Mike. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense. And 58 is the Mike. Go 58.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Bryant going down the middle, and it's complete. Touchdown, LA! A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Zerline good with a PAT, and that cuts the lead to 24-17. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Key to tight end. Hey, we are.
They'll keep it on the ground. Vaughn. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
Ready. 15 Lonnie. Let's go, Heavy. Ready, go. What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Ready, go.
On 3rd down, it's Vaughn. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Not the result they were looking for there on third down. They ended up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
The Rams take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
Gain of 4. It's now second and 6 at the 24-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Check that. We got Mike 52 right here.
2nd and 6. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. 7 yards there and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Gurley on first down with no blocking help there as he won't even make it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 1. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 30-yard line.
One set. Mike 52. Watch the run. Watch the run.
From the gun, Bryant. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And he comes back with one complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter.
Set, ready. 15 on it. 15 on it. It's our time. It's our time.
On 1st and 10, Bryant. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The end result, 21 yards.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Ready, set. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Man left, man left. Oh, shot. 45.
Operating from the gun, Bryant. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
45 to Mike. 45 to Mike. I'm coming. I'm coming. Check 45 to Mike. Check 46.
Throwing again. Bryant. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Back to throw. Bryant. He's going to dump it off to Gurley.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
58, right over there, yeah. Mike. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
On 4th down. Bryant. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Looking to throw. Bryant. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. From 10 yards out as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. To throw is Martinez. From the gun, he'll throw. And the pressure gets to him again.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They run out of the shotgun with Gurley. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, Bryant. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
45. Mike, 45.
To throw on 3rd down. Bryant. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Touchdown, L.A. A big play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Rams have taken the lead. Zerline connects on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
58, boy, 58, come on. Hey, keep it up, keep it up. At 58,
Martinez going to throw again. Now a desperation throw. He's got a man, complete. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. They'll run on 1st down. It's Vaughn. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Vaughn. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
here we go. Set, 70 in. Check 26, check 26. Shit, quiet, 64, weak.
Back to throw. He's got his tight end, Burton. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Buying time to his left. Letting one go deep for the end zone. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. But it's going to be 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Hey, check 24. Check 24. He's cracked. What happened?
They'll try to run this one in. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there. With time running out, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. A very important extra point there, up and good, and we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
At their own 32-yard line.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Kyle Fuller there defensively. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here. Check the backer, check the backer. Tight dog, tight dog. Max box. Right. Wahoo.
To throw again, Bryant. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside, or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Check, check. Fresno. Check. Watch the eye.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
3rd and 8 situation. A tough spot here in overtime on the opening drive.
58 for Mike.
Now a first throw here in overtime. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. but they turned it back over to him, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part one is done, now part two. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Martinez. Off play action. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Yeah, 60, orange. Hey, come on now. Check three. Move, fellas, let's go.
Martinez now throwing on 3rd and long. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Overtime with less than 2 minutes to play, and we are still all tied. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this will be taken at the 13. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Bryant. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down, L.A.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Mike, 45. Hey. 45's the Mike. 45's the Mike.
On 1st down, Bryant. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Bryant, quick hitter here, it's complete. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6.
45, Mike, 45.
Operating from the gun. Bryant, that's taken in by Henderson. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on 4th down.
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Set the 2 to 6. Pull it. Now, defense, let's go. 58 to Mike, 58. 58 to Mike. Check pass.
On fourth down, Bryant. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route, complete. And he is going to have the first down here, but hold on, as there's a flag on the field, and I think someone got held. Here's Britton Colquitt now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. And now a high kick, but he hit it straight up. It'll go as just a 15-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored. That's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let the team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Got to be careful, though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive, you just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickeled and dimed down the field.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Martinez operating from the gun. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. There he goes, left side. And he will score. Touchdown, LA. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Still catching our breaths from that electric finish. You get into overtime, that's one thing. It was a great 4 quarters. But then in OT, not only to win it, but to win it on a defensive score. Wow.
Oh, definitely. And I think from now on, we're going to definitely travel someone who can help us, because I thought I was going to pass out at the end. Not just getting to the overtime, but the plays in overtime that led to this one, and to finish it on a defensive touchdown, a takeaway that gets into the end zone. I'm not rooting for anyone, but boy, I love to see games finish that way.
So for Los Angeles, it's a second win on the year now as they move to 2-8. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Long way as this will drop.